Basketball season, preseason done started.
Right back.
Right back to it, man. We still got some contract issues with Mr. Harden, James Harden, brother.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been showing up, and now you can definitely tell he hasn't showed up because the man looks about 20 to 25 pounds overweight,
Man,
out of shape, and it's pretty obvious.
out here looking like a Harlem Globetrotter.
Man, look at this. Look like he don't even want to be there no more.
This guy looks crazy. I mean, it was just with a little baby party. He had a birthday.
Yeah.
But this is what I was trying to determine, like how many days, how many weeks has he been away from hoop? Like,
Because he came back in the
you
bubble.
did this to yourself
He looked
in
great.
a matter of weeks.
Yeah. But that's just it goes to,
Mentality.
show you, like it's a mental thing, and you see how bad your health. And I'm not saying he's unhealthy, but you see how out of shape you can get
Mm-hmm.
in a matter of time of not doing things that you're supposed to be doing, being a professional athlete.
Right.
So, me seeing that, and I'm just like, yeah, he doesn't want to be there no more. I don't know how they're gonna do this, man, because they've already shipped off Russell Westbrook for John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
They've already swapped spots. Nobody wants James Harden for pennies anymore. They want top dollar.
Right.
So, you got the Sixers that are, in the mix. The Heat are in the mix. The Bucks were in the mix at one point, but they just maxed out Giannis.
Yep.
So that's off the table.
Yep.
So now you're looking at like the Heat. And I'm like, the Rockets are going to want probably Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, draft picks. Or they'll want Tyler Hero is like the common denominator in this factor.
Mm-hmm.
They want him. But they want him, maybe Adebayo, and draft picks. Is Pat Riley going to give that up? I don't know. I don't think I would. I just couldn't.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, they let James Harden do all this stuff, gave him all this freedom. They might have 2 days off on the road. They let him fly out to Vegas or somewhere, party, come back. But guess what? He's dropping 50, triple-double. So, hey, you can get away with that. The problem is they haven't been to an NBA Finals yet. They haven't won a Western Conference Finals yet.
Right.
So now you're to the point you've invested all this money into all these players. It's just time to start over, I guess.
Right.
The only problem is, and I agree with the Rockets, they're not letting him go for chump change. They're not just going to take some bottom feeders and some draft picks. They want something in return.
Right.
Even with the Nets. They're going to want Kyrie and draft picks and probably some role players. If people think they're just going to want Spencer Dinwiddie and some draft picks, they're out of their fucking mind.
Right.
You'd be out of your mind to agree to something like that.
Right.
So, just all that, plus now he's out of shape. He's trying to take his value down so he could be shipped out just like that. That's what I'm seeing from all this, man.
Yeah.
And I understand the NBA is a players' league. It's not like the NFL. That's an owner's league.
Yep.
But what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you trade him to? Who do you think is the most?
I mean, what I hate the most is that I don't see any benefit at the end of it for James.
Yeah.
I mean, if he goes to Miami, they send everybody else out. If he goes to,
I heard Boston too.
I mean,
but who do you trade him for?
What you trading for?
You're gonna lose out on what you would have had.
The house, yeah. So that's the problem, man. Is that I don't know. I mean, he's gonna be lonely wherever he goes.
Yeah. He's gonna win your games. He's definitely gonna win your games. He'll get you into the playoffs being in the East.
I mean, if I'm him, I just stay in Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's on contract till what, 2023, 2022, 23. So it's like 2 or 3 more years. They don't have to do anything.
Bring some people in and just chill, man.
Yeah. The Rock, and that's the thing. The Rockets don't have to do a thing. They can say fuck off, James. And if you don't want to show up, we'll fine your ass every time.
Right.
And that's what's about to start happening. He's going to get fined for not showing up. He decided to show up last minute, and this is how he came.
Right. No, and I hate when players are in situations like this, man, because you don't want him to sit there and just be be stagnant. You know, you always want to see growth and someone flourish, but man, it's tough.
And this isn't like a contract holdout like with Zeke, where he just didn't show up till he got his money. This man got his money.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to be there anymore. So again, I asked, like, so if you're the Houston Rockets, if you're the GM, president, what would you do?
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, and it's just me. You know, I feel like at some point you have to still hold your end of the bargain, right? So we paid you the money,
Yeah,
gave you the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Things ain't always gonna be pretty, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you still got a year, 2 years on the contract, man, give us everything you got for that last couple of years.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, we want you to be happy. So if we can make it work, we will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think right now Houston's in a position where they just got to sit still. They got to sit back. They got to just kind of see what happens.
Play it by ear.
Because I mean, there's already been some moves. KD's back in Brooklyn, and him and Kyrie get to get going. You know, Giannis just re-signed a big contract. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff. I mean, Lakers made a lot of moves.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Clippers are even making stuff.
For sure.
So, man, I don't know, man. I was listening to Paul George talk the other night about a bunch of different stuff, man, and you know, he was mentioning even with him being top-notch player, upper echelon, he was like, man, when I came out here after my shoulder surgery, he was like, man, I still felt like the sixth man. Like I wasn't a part of the team. I had to work my way in. And, man, there's just so much that goes into all this stuff, man. And, you know, for James Harden, I just don't know which direction he needs to go.
Yeah. I think if I'm the GM, I got to move him. Because I look at the Pelican situation they had with Anthony Davis and what happened with them. He wanted to go, but they kept him for a little while, made him play, and it was hell for that basketball team. It didn't end well until they got rid of him, and then they moved on and they actually hit the lottery and got fucking Zion. So if I'm looking at it that way, I got to move him now because I might have the benefit of getting somebody I want in the future.
Right.
So I think, and there's so many fittable, you know, places he can go. I've even heard Golden State. Klay Thompson isn't playing this year. They could potentially trade who they got? They got Wiggins, and they could trade I think they got Kelly Oubre. Get rid of both of them dudes. Some draft picks. That might work. Especially now with the value.
Right.
Because I even look at the value now, you know, even compared to like how the NFL with the Bengals. We didn't get anything out of Andy Dalton. We released him. We gained nothing. Do I really want to stretch this 2 more years of unhappiness and then get nothing in return?
Right.
Who's to say he don't come out here and just lay goose eggs? I know he's